The Velkari war fleet stretched across the orbital shipyard like a constellation of metallic giants. 300 vessels, each worth more than some planetary economies, hung suspended in the void awaiting their final systems integration. Admiral Thexicor stood on the command deck of the flagship Sovereignty's Edge, his crystalline exoskeleton refracting the light from a dozen holographic displays. The humans assured us this upgrade would revolutionize our defensive capabilities. He clicked to his second-in-command, mandibles moving in what his species considered a satisfied gesture. Down in Bay 47, wedged between the coolant lines and processing cores of the dreadnought Infinite Reach, Ana Martinez wiped hydraulic fluid from her hands. The 26-year-old mechanic had been working double shifts for 3 weeks straight, part of the human contractor team hired to install the new quantum encryption modules across the Velkari fleet. She'd noticed it 2 hours ago. A discrepancy in the initialization sequence, something that made her gut twist the way it had back in training when instructors would deliberately sabotage systems to test their diagnostic skills. "Leo," she spoke into her comm, "you seeing what I'm seeing on the primary encryption node?" Across the shipyard in the bowels of the carrier Dawnbreaker, Leo Chen pulled up the schematics on his datapad. His eyes narrowed behind his work goggles. "The cascade sequence? Yeah, I flagged that for review but got overruled. Velkari QA team signed off on it." Anna's jaw tightened. She'd worked with Velkari engineers before. Brilliant species. They'd achieved faster-than-light travel centuries before humans had even split the atom. But they had one critical weakness: they trusted their own systems implicitly. Once something passed through their verification protocols, questioning it was considered almost offensive. "That's not just wrong," Anna said quietly, pulling up the code strings. "That's catastrophically wrong. If they initialize the fleet-wide network with this sequence, the encryption modules will brick every primary system simultaneously," Leo finished. "Navigation, life support, weapons, everything, 300 ships, 70,000 Velkari crew members, 10 billion credits worth of military hardware. All of it would become expensive debris floating in orbit." Anna made her decision. Protocol dictated she file a report through proper channels, a process that would take hours and require multiple levels of approval. The fleet initialization was scheduled to begin in 40 minutes. She sealed her toolkit and headed for the access tubes that would take her to the command deck. Her supervisor's voice crackled over the comm. "Martinez, your shift ended 10 minutes ago. What are you still doing on the Infinite Reach?" "Forgot something in the upper decks," she lied smoothly. "Heading out now." The Velkari didn't design their ships for human proportions. Anna had to crouch and squeeze through passages meant for their arthropod frames. By the time she emerged onto the observation deck adjacent to the flag bridge, her coveralls were torn and she'd accumulated several new bruises. 2 Velkari sentries blocked the entrance to the command center, their translation devices rendering their clicks into flat mechanical English. "This area is restricted to authorized personnel only. I'm Ana Martinez, lead mechanic, human contractor team. I need to speak with Admiral Thexicor immediately. The Admiral is preparing for the fleet initialization ceremony. He cannot be disturbed." Through the transparent aluminum viewport, Anna could see Thexicor surrounded by his senior staff. Holographic displays showed all 300 vessels, their new systems primed and ready. A countdown timer showed 32 minutes remaining. "That initialization will fail," Anna said firmly, "and it will take your entire fleet with it." The sentry's mandibles clacked. Laughter, Anna had learned. "Human, the Velkari Stellar Navy has operated for 600 years. Our systems have been verified by the most advanced analytical protocols in 4 sectors. Your concern is noted but unnecessary." Anna looked at the countdown. 31 minutes, she could walk away, file her report through proper channels, cover herself legally when everything went wrong. Let the Velkari learn an expensive lesson about the dangers of over-reliance on automated verification. But 70,000 people would die. Anna ducked under the first sentry's reaching limb and slapped the emergency access panel. Alarms shrieked as the blast doors began to open. The sentries grabbed her, but not before she'd gotten what she needed, everyone's attention. "That's the wrong code," Anna shouted across the command deck, her voice cutting through the startled clicks of 24 Velkari officers. Admiral Thexicor turned, his compound eyes fixing on the human mechanic being restrained by security. "Remove her immediately. Line 847 through 923 of your encryption cascade." Anna shouted as they dragged her backward. It's using deprecated handshake protocols. When you hit system-wide initialization, you'll create a feedback loop that will... Our systems have been verified. Thexicor cut her off coldly. By automated protocols that can't recognize human coding signatures. Anna struggled against the sentry's grip. We wrote the encryption modules. Your verification software is looking for Valkyrie-style architecture. The Admiral's mandibles went still, a gesture Anna recognized. Uncertainty. Sir, his operations officer clicked urgently. What she describes is theoretically possible. 28 minutes on the countdown, show me, Thexicor commanded. The sentries released Anna. She stumbled forward, pulled up her datapad and began tracing the code paths on the central holo display. Here and here. These protocols worked fine in isolated testing because each ship's systems could handle the discrepancy. But when you link all 300 vessels into a single quantum-encrypted network, Leo's voice crackled over her comm, apparently monitoring the command channel now. I'm pulling the same code from 17 other vessels. Anna's right. It's consistent across the fleet. The Valkyrie operations officer worked frantically, running new simulations. Its mandibles began to tremble. Admiral, the human is correct. Fleet-wide initialization with this code would result in cascading system failures. Across all vessels within 90 seconds, the command deck fell silent except for the hum of electronics and the counting down of seconds that had nearly led to catastrophe. Admiral Thexicor turned to Anna. You risked serious disciplinary action to warn us, Anna shrugged. Still breathing hard, seemed like the right thing to do. Right according to what protocol? Not protocol, Anna said quietly. Just being human. The Admiral's crystalline exoskeleton seemed to shift colors, a gesture Anna didn't recognize. Later, she'd learn it was profound respect. We have built our civilization on the perfection of systems, on the elimination of intuition and instinct from critical operations. We believe this made us superior. He gestured toward the fleet displayed in holographic glory. You have reminded us that sometimes the most sophisticated protocol is knowing when to trust the gut feeling of a mechanic who cares enough to risk everything. The initialization was delayed by 6 hours while human and Valkyrie engineers worked together to rewrite the problematic code. When the fleet finally came online, every system performed flawlessly. Anna found herself promoted to Chief Human Valkyrie Systems Integration Specialist, though she privately joked to Leo that she preferred the mechanic who wouldn't shut up, because sometimes that's exactly what the universe needs.